courts of the High Court and Court of Appeal, and all of you big people here. Your Excellency, this is not my day. I'm an invitee, and I'm also eager to listen to you, to your wisdom. But I have about 3 things I would want to say, and don't excuse me for winning. We have a problem with welfare. I bleed when I see police officers who are working at Ginger Road sleeping in Mukono, and they must come to work on time and then go back on their meager salaries. There is need for housing the police, the prison, and the Directorate of Immigration. That would have been solved if we didn't have people who think within the box in the Ministry of Finance. They don't want to think outside the box, or if the box becomes difficult, remove the box. But that's not your job, Your Excellency. I handle it with my colleague, Mr. Kasaija. Fortunately, he's one of my predecessors. He should know that there is need for adequate housing for these agencies. Allow me to thank IGP Tom Magambo. I was here recently, and when they told me you were coming to visit this place, I just said, now. Because this place was very rugged. And, you know, when I came here, he told me, you know, there was a need for, and of course the pocket was empty. So I went with my heart beating and said, now, what do I tell this young man? The place was bad, to be sincere. But Tom, with the police authority, police leadership, I thank you for making this place livable together with your. And you remember I promised you to increase the manpower, CID. Your Excellency, CID is understaffed. Well, the resources willing, we shall see what to do. We have not forgotten, we shall see what to do. Then, Tom, what you've forgotten to do is, I remember I asked you the reconstruction of the CID. I don't want to blame the past leaders of the police, but I think when handling the CID, quite a few mistakes were made, and together with the Inspector General, talked to him. We should reconstitute the CID to make the CID equal to its job. The criminals they have reduced, but they have become more sophisticated. There is, you know, Your Excellency, remember I had a quarrel with these gentlemen of the Law Council when they were saying we should examine the people before they go to LDC. My question was, you don't teach cyber crime, cyber law. You don't teach forensic law. You don't teach sports law. You don't teach maritime law. You don't teach. Do you need these judges and these lawyers? When you put a pre-entry, those who didn't study these things and need them abroad are at a disadvantage. And yet we need these people. Similarly, the CID ought to be educated in these disciplines. We need CID officers who are conversant with cybercrime, who are conversant and competent with maritime law, with the oil and gas, with the etc. So, Your Excellency, there is need for adequate training for CID officers, reshaping and adequate training for CID officers. Finally, we have this problem of the existential threat to national integrity and development, corruption. I find it a bit difficult that it's only you blowing the clarion call to fight corruption when the rest of us in leadership are a bit silent. I think I call on my colleague leaders, political leaders, to stand up and we support the president in fighting against corruption. Let's talk. We will not change the much, but let's also talk. And as for you, the CID officers and prosecutors, as you know, I have read both groups and I know what happens down there. I'm not here to spoil the wedding. But I beg of you to do internal search and have a perpetual recitation of mea culpa. That's what will solve your reputation and cause the advancement of our society. With those few words, may I take this senior honor to invite you to address the gathering.
Sako, oh, I'm very much embarrassed that the prosecutors are still kubanjaring me on such something small. I feel embarrassed and I will have to show the embarrassment. And in the month of November, I want my PPS to invite all my prosecutors to Kisozi. I don't think they can eat many cows, these ones. Now, I think finally, when you are discussing here, one of the, I like the ideas of Justice Abodo, like the land issues being handled promptly, locally, instead of firing lawyers and so on. That's, you study Abodo's idea of handling them off grid, directing the villages. You study it. Now, finally, the issue of bail. Because this issue of bail, if the case is ready for trial, I think is really a big mistake. I can understand if the case is not yet ready for bail, after 6 months, you can think of bail. But if the case is ready for trial, why do you not try it and finish it? Especially if it is a case of murder or corruption, like in the case of these politicians, or rape or treason. Why do you concentrate on, even for the accused? I would want to say, you try me quickly and I prove my innocence. You raided the GA, then the GA now raided back the Masenu. So you can see it was all caused by our people, thinking that because they have power, they can do whatever they want. With the African groups, be very careful. Make sure that you do justice clearly. Don't remain with any debt of blood or anything. So if you live here, please, you better listen to this. If you live in other parts of the world, then you can. But here, Africans want full accountability. This was the mistake of UPC. UPC were stupid people. I remember in 1966, when Obote abrogated the Constitution, we were in the school at Ntari, in the dormitory, and we were listening to Obote's speech. I have led this country with clean hands and a clean head. I am not a thief. I have abolished the Constitution. So we said, how can somebody abolish our constitution? How? Abolish our constitution. Then the UPC boys said, what will you do? What will you do? What shall we do? That's how the whole chaos started. Very, very easy to avoid. So please, with the Africans, don't. That's why the Banyankore are very clever people. When lightning, like this lightning in the sky makes a flash, you know, Banyankore were scientists. They understood that light is faster than sound. Because you see the light, of course, what they did not know, I will tell you what they did not know. Now, when the lightning kumiasa in the sky, the Munyankore says, Gandra Heguru, Tikaria Kam Kagano Kamhara. You stay there in the skies, don't hit me, because I have never taken anything from an in-law or a friend. I have never wronged anybody. Don't come to me. So, but of course, what they did not know that by the time you see the light, you're already dead. See their sense of justice. Please, don't hit me. I have no date with anybody. That should be the spirit of the public servants. Don't take anything from anybody. Don't do anybody wrong. Make sure everybody gets it right. So this business of concentrating on bail, what? Concentrate on proving the innocence of yourself or of the aggressor. So with these few words, it is my pleasure to do what? To address you.
Our dear guests, please, you may be seated. Please do not leave because we have